It's kind of bunchy. Okay, just a second. Let me get my everything handled. Hey, everyone. Hey, Craig. What's going on? Yeah, good day. Good day. Just checking everything out, getting everything started. I'm trying to do a little bit better at making these lives. I'm also on YouTube Live right now. If you want to check in there, I'll have the chart up. So that one's pray, trade, repeat. But we're going to talk about a bunch of different things. I did a lot of research over the last few days as well to give us a better idea of some upcoming catalysts and that are accurate. And obviously yesterday's Zach's rating, it was pretty cool. We got a buy rating from Zach's, which is, they're not easy to get a rating from. So if they're saying buy, it's like, they're so rigid, Zach's, that I don't even really use them because they're almost too rigid. So to have a buy from Zach's is pretty exciting. I'm going to quickly post this stuff on Twitter and Stock Twits that I'm live, to let anyone that is available that can come in and discuss this stuff with us to come on in. Let's see. Let me just handle this real quick. How was everybody's holiday? Everybody have a good holiday? Let's see. Come on in. My friend who's a trader told me, you got to set this stuff up before you go live. But I haven't quite figured that out yet. I bought some new lights and everything. I bought some like really cool Black Friday deal and some really cool lights, some studio lights. Of course, I didn't set them up. I'm still lazy. I'm still a lazy guy. All right. Copy that, post that, go to Stock Twits, and then just to let everybody know, if anybody's interested, we can talk about. And ding, 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 ding. Give me 1 sec. This is my least favorite part of doing lives. Bullish, post, do 2 in a row. There you go. Bullish, post, and then I can get out of there, go back to my stream, and I'm back. So yeah, this is the IXHL Phase 2 to the Moon shirt. If you haven't seen it, this is one of the many shirts I have on PrayTradeRepeat.com. Also, if you could like or subscribe, or I guess I'm supposed to say that, I've always, whenever I watched YouTube videos and I was learning something or whatever, and they asked to you to like or subscribe or to follow, I'm not that type of personality. I'm always like, but obviously I guess it's part of the hustle, right? You have to ask for people to like, subscribe anyway. And then also, yeah, I have PrayTradeRepeat.com is my website. I have funny kind of, LA culture, trading culture shirts and t-shirts and stuff like that. That's enough. That's it. That's all I'm going to say about that, guys. Let's talk about the stock today. So I have the chart up here. If you want to go on YouTube, I have the chart so everyone on YouTube can see the chart. Hey, William, how's it going? Yeah, we got a little movement today, right? And it's man, is it well deserved or what? So yeah, if you're on TikTok and you want to see the actual chart live, so we can watch the stock move and talk about it, we can do that. And you can just jump on YouTube. For anybody who's listening, today's going to be a good listening day because I have some really good information. I did a pretty deep dive, and I got some new stuff I would like to go over with you. Unfortunately, it's pretty dense, but it's worth it. It's worth it to, especially if anybody's a new investor in this stock. You'd be so lucky. We're all so jealous if you are. Right? If you're a new investor to IXHL, to Inconex Healthcare, We did all the work for you, right? We did all the work for you already. You're so lucky to be in this stock. If you're new, hey, hi, hello to everybody on YouTube. Thanks for chatting. Thanks for saying hello. Welcome everybody. It's Tuesday, December 2nd. It's 9:55 a.m. I'm talking in my low voice because my neighbor's wall is right on the other side. But yeah, let's talk about this really quickly. Let's talk about what's happening today, the last couple of days. So we see that on Black Friday, we had a daily high of right around where it is right now, about 0.3730, we'll call it. So about 37.5 cents, right? Stock's trading at the same area right now. So we can look, if you look at my chart and you see my chart on the stream right now, you'll see that I've been marking out that blue daily trend line that comes all the way down from $1.66 on July 24th when I made all the money swing trading this, and then put it back into the stock on August 28th. Just a quick recap. I did that because I was day trading it, and then I saw that they bought back warrants in May, and then they raised $48 million, and I knew something was up. So I heavily invested in the stock, made a bunch of money on the rip up in July, and then I reinvested most of that money back into the stock on August 26th when the general anxiety drug or the psilocybin drug, it's called PSX001, was announced. The phase 2 efficacy, or the phase 2 results were announced. I dumped all my money back into the stock because I thought it was going to run for dollars. They, of course, diluted the stock and took the money off the table, which is what they needed to do. Now they have $73 million in cash, as last reported, they had a great earnings report, and here we are today. Okay, let's talk about it. So Black Friday, we were on or about the same place where the stock is right now. It's at 37 cents, 37.5 cents. Yesterday, we saw some really interesting action. We saw like the stock being pushed back down under that day trend line, and almost forced down under that day trend line, these violent forces down. And I can tell, I've been staring at charts for so long now, I can tell when it's just straight up manipulation and liquidity grabs, and when it's actual, things like accumulation, distribution, dilution. So yesterday was just a pounding down underneath that daily trend line. So that's, algorithms, etc. And then we saw a big move. We saw a big pop, and that was from 35 to 37, and then I just kind of marked out that price box, and that's what you'll see if you're looking on my YouTube. So I marked out the price box for the entire day. So right now, and then the reason why I did that is I wanted to see if we start to trade above that price box, and it looks like right now, if you look at my chart. I don't know if you're not looking at my chart, the Black Friday high of the day and where we are right now is on or about the same. Hey, Kiwi man, did you see the latest news regarding Zach rank? Yes, I was just saying that before I started the live today. I was just saying that, like, Zach's ranks are something that, like, you come across. Let me give you an example. When I was trading LAES, which is the quantum semiconductor stock, and you're trading that, and it's getting these big pops and runs, and then it's going back down, and then you're wondering what's going on with the stock. Is this a real company, and this and that and the other thing? And you see, like, so you basically, the long story short is that Zacks does not give out buy ratings willy-nilly. They're not giving out. They don't just hand out buy ratings. They are very, very rigid in their ratings. So do I think that the Zacks buy rating is a big deal? Yes, that's a really big deal. So much so that, people like us who trade penny stock and, look for swing trades and look for really good clean cap tables and reasons to, size in big on a stock like IXHL, right? You see that, like, oh, whoa, they bought back their warrants. They have like zero debt now. They raised all this cash. Like, this is the swing trade opportunity, of the year. Honestly, we're at the end of the year, but again, so welcome. If anybody's new, you're so lucky. We did all the work for you. We could tell you everything you need to know about the stock. There's great people. We have a great community on StockTwits, on Twitter. Not so much Reddit. Reddit, you still have a lot of people that are they're super like, they're like, if you try to post anything positive, they can really just hammer you. Look in the right places for the right information and the right narrative. And that's most likely going to be on Twitter, on StockTwits, some on Reddit. You have people like myself and other people that are posting on Reddit, but they completely obliterate it by downvoting it and because either one, they're like just like super bitter investors that have been holding for many, many years, or two, they're shorting it. You know what I mean? They're shorting it, or three, they're just bots. They're these, and you see this, we know we live in this reality. We're in the AI reality. There's AI bots. You guys, some of you are engaging with them and answering them on these forums. You don't have to engage them or answer them. If you see people saying crazy stuff or negative stuff, or just block and mute them. It's because they're not real. They're not real people. Real people don't say stupid things like that. You know what I mean? Don't. So anyway, let's stick with where we're at. So right now, let's look at the chart. Let's take a quick look. So we're at 730, 730. I'm just gonna quickly mark out this price box here for the first 15-minute candle. I always look at 15-minute charts. I don't look at 5-minute or 1 minute unless I'm about to make a trade. If I'm about to make a trade, then I'm gonna look at the 1 minute and the 5-minute. That's a super noisy chart. My channel is called Pray Trade Repeat for a reason, because the price box looks different. I don't know if they changed the platform, because it's really important for me to be in like kind of a Zen mode when I'm trading. So I'm marking out this price box. There it is, 26 bars. If you don't know, when you mark out a price box on a 15-minute chart, there's 26 bars, and this one's not counting the bars anymore. It must have some kind of different one. Anyway, I'm gonna guess. Okay, and as you can see, if you're watching my chart over here, on the YouTube live, you can see that we're well above that first original range bound candle, that first 15-minute candle, and that's everybody. You guys most likely know that if you're day trading, swing trading, etc. This tells the entire story of the day of the stock. Most of the time, you mark out that box from the top of the wick to the bottom of the candle, and you pull it out to the end of the day. You pull that blue box out, and you can tell where price is, and you could and this is where you could really catch bullish momentum and really see where the stock is going, and know if it's time to pile in. I'm not selling, so I was going to say or sell, but there's no way I'm selling. So, I'm in for the dollars, like dollars range. I want to say hello to everyone on TikTok, and hey to everybody on YouTube, and I'll get right back to it really quickly. Okay, so yeah, so you had Black Friday. The high of the day was around right where it is now. They're almost dead even. Yesterday, we got stuffed down underneath the day trend line, the blue day trend line from July 24th. That big pop to $1.66, right? And I'll stop there for a second on a dime and say that if you don't think that this stock is going to make a big move soon, I'm here to tell you it is. And when it does, if you haven't figured this out yet, it's time to start, especially if you have these big positions and you understand, and you've come in, you see like, okay, this is like a golden opportunity. They have so many catalysts coming up, and there's going to be a big move soon. You want to set your good to cancel tiered limit sell orders with either your broker or on your, I don't know what platform you use. I certainly don't use Robinhood or any of these, disruptor apps. I use banks to trade. And I've set so far, so I have 50,000 shares. I've set a good to cancel limit sell order for $1.52 for 25,000 of those. You know what I mean? I don't have a million shares. There's guys on here that are people on here that have millions of shares. I just want my money back. So I got that at 1.52. That's going to give you all my money back. I'm going to let the rest ride for the rest of the dollars range. That's this time around, no ego, but this is all house money for me, because I was able to come in at 18 cents in May, and sell at $1.15 and make a bunch of money. And that's all. So this is all house money that I'm playing with. Anyway, so right now today we're trying to push past this line, this black line that I have, this trend line, which is at 0.3737. So around 37 and a third of a cent. And that's where price is right now. It looks pretty bullish. We have these 15-minute candles are trying to go above that line and break. But what I really see, in my opinion, and everyone has different opinions, is that 0.3820, that's what we really need to do this, keep drawing. 0.3820, 3820. If we can crack past 3820, that's the first indication that a move might actually be coming. Because, you know, if you've been watching this as much as we have, or I have, you understand pretty well that, like, you know, well, I mean, you guys actually understand, because I don't look at the available shares short anymore. I'm so long, it's ridiculous. But what we see on the chart, if you look at the chart, if you just squeeze your 15-minute chart in for the last few days, you see what happens is we get these big pops and then they get slammed down, right? It happens every day. And so that's where we're at today. I would like to see this move past 38 cents. If that happens, we have something to talk about. But that said, I'm going to go over some stuff that let me just quickly check in with everybody on the stream. Hey, Kenneth. Hey, everyone checking in. Oh, nice t-shirt. You like that? Yeah. This is just one of the many shirts I have over there on PrayTradeRepeat.com. It helps support the channel. I bought some lights. A few people bought some shirts, and I used the money to buy this big thing of lights, these Black Friday sales. So I'm supposed to be using these lights now. I didn't have time this morning, but I got a big thing. I'm going to turn it into like a whole studio vibe. But so I can do better, live, so I can do better research for everyone and myself, obviously. So, okay, so we're looking good, man. You know, 37 cents today. We haven't been, let's see, let's take a look. Let's see. I mean, I know that on the 1st of November, we were around 39 cents, I think. Let me take a look. So I'm going to switch back to the chart really quickly and see when the last time we were at. Let's see this, 30 cents, 37. Wow, look at that. Oh my goodness. Okay, so the last day that we were this high was Tuesday, November 13th. And we had a high of the day of 38.20. What did I just say before, guys? So this is, I could even mark this line out, put a horizontal line there, because this is exactly and there's a reason why it's in my head. I mean, this is the only stock I trade right now. Everyone says, oh, you're married to the stock. It's never good to be married to the stock. I don't know. Of course I'm married to this stock. This stock I've never had this much money in my bank account before. You know what I mean? I'm not some rich guy. I'm a guy who worked in a treatment center. I was a drug and alcohol counselor that quit my job in May. I started trading this stock, and now I have more money than I've ever had in the bank at once. You know, so yeah, I'm married to the stock. Ooh, you got me. Yeah, and then I put all my money back in, and now it's going to run for dollars, and I'm going to make probably life-changing money. I might buy a house with the money that I'm going to make from this. You know, so am I married to the stock? Yes, I am married to the stock. The answer is yes. Yes, I'm married to the stock. So I put a big green line that represents that day, that the last day that the stock was this high was on November 14th. It was actually at 38.20. I was just saying, I want to see it break 38.20. See, in my mind, I'm so tapped into this stock that I already know the latest highs. And then the next move, the next highs we had after 0.3820 was on this day, which was, it looks like Monday, November 3rd, right? Like I said earlier, I thought that it went to 39 cents. See, I'm like, it's in there. It's like all I do. This is all I do. And we'll take a quick look. If you're on the live on YouTube, you'll see what I'm doing with this chart. And then we'll see some more. So then and then we had a nice day. We had a nice pop over here on Halloween. Was it Halloween? Yeah, it was Halloween up to about 39. Then we had other pops to, well, it wasn't pops. These are kind of just the main pop was from, yeah, 34. And we went all the way up to 41. So anyway, so that's where we're at. I don't want to keep drawing trend lines. Nobody wants to see me draw trend lines all day. Let me get back on this, and then we'll go over some catalysts and things I want to talk about. So yeah, obviously the big thing is yesterday is the Zacks rating. That's pretty cool. It's pretty amazing. It is a big deal because what most people don't understand is, well, one is that Zacks is super rigid with their ratings. They won't even touch a rating or a stock to rate it if you know, they have like a very high what am I doing here? Very high standards. Let's see if there's a candle that can just change that trend line. They have very high standards when it comes to rating stocks. Yeah, we don't have any wicks. So we have candles that are trying to close above that 37.5 range. This is great. We're looking good so far. Hopefully we don't see what we see every day, which is this red waterfall. And when you see these red waterfalls, they're kind of scary. So because it looks like dilution, right? It looks like somebody's dumping millions of shares in. That's whenever you see these red waterfalls. But it was most likely the 8 million shares that were available to short yesterday, right? Because remember, on Black Friday there was no. I mean, all the shares were returned. All the shares were returned. I don't really mess around with it. I don't care about the shorting at this point. I don't care. I know what I'm holding. I don't care who's shorting it. I don't care if it's being manipulated. It's you can't put this company out of business. It's never going to happen. If you're shorting this stock, you're done, bro. You are toast. Like, get out. Stop doing what you're doing. Flip long. You're in big trouble. Listen. This is coming from somebody who's trying to help you. Like, if you're trying to short Inconex Healthcare, you're making one of the biggest mistakes you've ever made, because this thing's about to explode. So again, so that's where we're at. So as you can see, we want to break that 3820, 0.3820, which would break. What did I say? November 3rd was the last time it was at that. November 3rd, October 31st. So if we can break 39 and move past that, that's basically confirmation that we're on the move. You can see you got a little bit of a pullback here. And listen, this is liquidity. This has happened. These are 15-minute candles, not very noisy. If you want to watch the noisy candles, go ahead. Those are the 5 and 1s. And, you know, if you're trading, and listen, I no shade. I used to that's what I would do when I came across this stock, because I was coming in and scalping. And when I'm scalping, I'm using the 1-minute chart. I'm using the 5-minute chart, but I'm not scalping today. I have better things to do than try to day trade or scalp. And that's why too. I mean, there's a lot of people on here that you know, I got love for everybody and every style of trading. Everybody and every style of trading. You know, but there are people out here that are just killing the game, man. You have people that's like, I respect what they say. They have so much talent in terms of their experience and know-how in terms of trading, and they'll just tell her they're day trading this and keeping it from making its big move. Why would you day trade this? This is not making 10-cent moves. You know what I mean? It's making 2-cent moves. If you know, what are you gonna buy 1 million shares and make $10,000 a day? If you got that kind of capacity, great. I mean, I'm definitely not on your level. Anyway, Craig, do you feel like they will do a reverse split, or can they get it over $1 before they have to? That's a great question, Craig. Hopefully you're still there. I didn't see your question. And yes, the short answer is yes, and it will happen. And before reverse split, of course. And second question, and the answer to that is going to lead me right to where I want it to go. I'm going to leave this chart here. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you guys can really watch it while I get my notes and talk about some stuff. Let's do a pop quiz. We'll do a pop quiz. So the pop quiz is this. Hey, everybody on YouTube, what's going on? Back over here. Sorry, I was playing with the charts for a minute. How How many drugs does IXHL have? Inconex Healthcare. And why would you invest in a penny stock like this? Well, let's see. A few reasons. Question number one, how many drugs do they have right now? So 3 or 4. We have the number one asset, IHL 42X, which is the first ever, first in class sleep apnea drug. It's an oral medication. It's dronabinol and acetazolamide. I think I got that right. Sometimes I mix up the RA, the rheumatoid arthritis combo therapy. But anyway, it's a pill that you take and it reduces the apnea-hypopnea index up to 83%. ResMed, that CEO, said way before the phase 2 top line results for IXHL came out, they had top line results for Apnimed, right? And that was under 50%. Okay, for the API, for the apnea-hypopnea index. And the CEO got a little salty and he was saying stuff like, you don't even have more than 50% efficacy. Like basically to him, it was not even a conversation, and then, a lot of people took his words out of context. They didn't understand. And because we're focusing on Inconex Healthcare, we were like, well, really? But when our phase 2 top line results came out, we see that we had from 50 to 83, as high as 83% apnea-hypopnea index. Not only that, the FDA has considered it for fast tracking and for what's that other term? It's basically expediting the process. And so now we're in phase 2/3 trial, Reposa, and with the FDA on our side. I want to just compliment Joe Latham and the company because they're doing an excellent job with their relationships with the FDA. They also have, so that's one asset, right? So some of the catalysts regarding that asset are coming up are phase 3 data readouts, phase 3 what's the word starts with an I when you start something? Not inception. Basically the start of phase 3, some of that data, some of the clinical trial process data, saying that that they got the clinical trial underway. Any of these announcements are explosive. You have a lot of people on all the stuff you're watching on Twitter, on I would call them conservatives on Twitter, on StockTwits, and these are smart people, and I actually follow them, and I get a lot out of what they say. But they're super conservative, and they say, "Oh, we're not going to see any news for a year, for up to a year. You better get ready to see nothing for 6 months." And that's not true. It's not true. That's not true at all. We are going to get updates on phase 2/3. We are going to get updates on clinical trial progress for recruitment for phase 3. We are going to get FDA IND application or updates, and especially for rheumatoid arthritis for 675A. I'm not sure if it's IHL 675A. Yeah, I think it is. It's IHL 675A, the rheumatoid arthritis drug. And remember, so the rheumatoid arthritis drug, they have a patent that goes to 2040 to 2045. They're going to enjoy that kind of exclusivity with that patent for the rheumatoid arthritis drug. And we're talking about a $40+ billion addressable market for the rheumatoid arthritis drug. We have about an $8-9 billion addressable market for the IHL 42X, which is the first in class sleep apnea drug. And regardless of some other company that may be in phase 3 for a drug that's not nowhere near as effective as ours is. Remember, IHL 42X, first in class. Well, is it first in class, Brian? Is it first in class because Apnimed has a drug too, and they're already in phase 3? Well, let me tell you something. First of all, we are also in phase 3. It's a phase 2/3 Reposa trial, right? They're going to give us updates soon on clinical trial recruitment for IHL 42X. Also, 2, Apnimed's efficacy and drug is completely different. First of all, right? We have our own patent for IHL 42X, and it's protected to 2045, 2040 to 2045. We're going to enjoy exclusivity there. And we've already proven that our drug, IHL42X, is safer and more effective than apnea meds, right? We haven't exactly, put them side by side and made the argument, but it's obvious. When the ResMed CEO was making his comments and getting really salty and upset, he was talking about apnea meds efficacy under 50%. We are 83% effective on apnea-hypopnea index, no suicidal issues. We're taking natural combination therapies and not using like chemical psych meds like other companies are. Not psych meds. Do you know what I mean? Chemical. Anyway. I don't want to, talk myself into a corner because I'm not a scientist. So back to the quiz. IHL42X, obstructive sleep apnea, #1 asset, first in class, phase 2, 3. The other thing too is anybody knows anything about biotechs, and if you knew, rarely do companies make it to phase 3. Nobody has to tell us that we're approved for phase 3. We're in phase 3. They're recruiting phase 3. We have a fast track designation that we're gonna get. That's going to be another catalyst. So you have catalyst 1 on IHL42X is going to be recruitment updates. Catalyst 2, fast track designation, right? And it's something need. What do they call that? The FDA when they there's no other drugs in this for the sleep apnea. What does that do? So the FDA, what they do is they fast track it. Oh, look at this. We got to move. We're finally breaking. Let's see if that candle closes. Got another 8 minutes to that candle. But we're finally. We have a drug that is going to be first in class, and this is something that's killing people. People are not complying. They're not wearing their masks. Nobody wants to wear these masks, man. Okay, so the FDA sees that need, and they prioritize it and they move it fast. So, look, if you're investing in a stock, you got a stock that's at 37 cents. You're new to this stock. Fucking. Not financial advice, but sell your house and just pile in. You're going to be a millionaire at this point. That's one, right? Is the OSA. Let's move to the RA, rheumatoid arthritis, IHL 675A. It's for irritable bowel disease. It's for it's an anti-inflammatory, and it's for rheumatoid arthritis. And what is it? It's this one. It's I think this one is acetazolamide and cannabinoid. I don't know. I mix up the two combination therapies. I know this stock back and forth, up and down. I should have notes, but I'm going to read them to you in a second. Anyway, so the next one is IXHL 675A. That's the rheumatoid arthritis drug. That is interesting, and this is where it gets really interesting. The addressable market on that is $42 billion. In the past couple of months, we were sold this narrative that there was some sort of pause on it, right? That there was in the American trials, but it is in phase 2. And then you see in the updates of the annual report to shareholders, the ARS, the 10Q, the 10K, you see that the trial is actually active. Not only that, but we're going to get some results from that. Again, this is okay, 675A, IHL 675A, rheumatoid arthritis. You know, like rheumatoid arthritis is like the #1 clinical trial for the last 30 years. Nobody can cure it, right? Again, super effective. I'm not sure the exact numbers, but it's like up there. It's up there. It's like, it's up there, right? I don't want to misspeak. IXHL 675A, massive numbers, safe, efficacious. And guess what? Another patent secured. This is what I'm saying. Like we see like this company is really good strategically in terms of protecting themselves worldwide with patents for IHL42X, which is the obstructive sleep apnea drug, for IHL 675A, which is the rheumatoid arthritis drug. The patents are protected for like up to 2040, 2045. So like 20 years of patent protection and exclusivity to market when these drugs are approved by the FDA. And keep in mind, the reason why this is so exciting is because, I had no idea what I had my hands on. I really didn't. I thought it was cool that they were going to make a pill for obstructive sleep apnea. And then you see Joel, and he tries to tell people, and he tries to express what they're doing. And it's very easy to minimize what he's saying. But he's been saying the truth. He's been telling us the whole time. They're only focusing on solutions to serious issues that have not had a solution. Anyway, so you have, okay, so the quiz is almost over. IHL 42X, IHL 675A, rheumatoid arthritis, PSX 001, August 26th, it comes out. And stock pops, they do dilute and they take money off the table, which is great. Excellent job, Joel. It didn't really feel well when that happened, but look what he did. So that's a psilocybin PSX 001. It's psilocybin, synthetic psilocybin drug, and it's used to treat general anxiety disorder. They have a build out with brick and mortar locations and partnerships in Australia already, and beginning in the EU. They this is a combination therapy that is going through approvals with the FDA for psychotherapy and dosing 25 milligram doses of synthetic psilocybin. In terms of competition, there is some competition in these areas, but we found out in the Monash University study recently that the FDA and the regulators are not there. You cannot create synthetic psilocybin. It exists. So it's not a race to create the drug or to bring a drug to market with synthetic psilocybin. It is a regulatory approval process. It's integrity. It's having the pieces in place. Again, Inconex Healthcare, way ahead of everyone else, setting up these treatment centers for this psilocybin therapy and psychotherapy. They're creating the infrastructure for the regulatory approval to just flip the switch like a McDonald's and be able to treat general anxiety disorder. Again, another 9 billion in addressable markets, right? Okay, so that's 3. So you got 3, right, Brian? No, we have 4. There's 4. There's another one. It's IHL. No, it's not that. Is it IHL? It's 216A. What is that? 216A is ketamine, and it's kind of like a ketamine slash. I gotta stop talking to science. It's an inhaler, and it's used for traumatic brain injury, right? And we're overlooking this right now. It's not in clinical trials. It's in preclinical trials. They used it in rats. It was super effective. So we're going to find out. That's the other. If you guys are looking for catalyst, you're going to find that sooner or later they're going to update you on IHL 216A, and they're going to tell you that it's now ready for human trials, and that's going to be another monster catalyst. Okay, so there's actually 4 drugs. That's the way I look at it. So let's see. I'm going to take some questions and engage with you guys. Hey, Jeffrey, do you anticipate good news or a catalyst to rocket the price before the year ends? Yes. Not sure if any of the holidays or end of the year guidelines influence this. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, definitely. I think we're going to see an announcement for any one of these updates that I just talked about before the 18th, before the shareholder meeting. Hello. So I definitely absolutely think that there's so many different guys. There's so many. Let me pull this. I'm going to pull up my notes. I'm just going to help everybody out real quick. Let me pull this up. There's so many. I'm just going to skip right to the catalyst part of all my research, and we'll give it to you right now. Where is it? Ding, 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 ding. I hate doing this while people are on stream because I'm going to find stuff, but it's here and it's worth listening to. Oh, I'm in the wrong email. I'm in my Pray Trade Repeat email. While I'm looking for this, just keep in mind, guys, if you can, go to PrayTradeRepeat.com, get yourself a shirt, or subscribe. If you can't like or subscribe my YouTube channel, follow me on TikTok. It really helps me. Let's see. Here it is. It's here somewhere. There it is. Inconex Healthcare. No, that's the top quote notification. Where's my notes? Oh, here it is. Okay, great. Okay, here we go. So this is, I have a whole, if anybody wants me to forward you this, I just send me an email to praytraderepeat@gmail.com. This is a massive deep dive into all of the drugs. It's all here for us. And the more of us that have information on all of this stuff, the better. Okay, so let's start with the recent and pending regulatory actions. The FDA interactions and trial clearances. Inconex has been proactive in engaging regulators to support its trials. The US FDA cleared the investigational new drug, or IND, for IXHL42X in 2023, allowing the pivotal phase 2/3 Reposa trial to proceed in the US. The FDA's review deemed the trial safe to proceed after evaluating the protocol, investigative qualifications, and risk-benefit analysis. Similarly, for PSX001, the psilocybin anxiety drug, the FDA approved the IND in June 2024 for the SIGAD phase 2B trial. Obtained requisite ethics approvals to run the trials for the phase 2. Okay. And in Australia, in Connect. Oh, this helps. In Australia, Inconex obtained requisite ethics approval to run trials, e.g. HREC approval for the phase 2 rheumatoid arthritis trial was received in late 2023. The EU is another front. Inconex prepared a submission to the European Medicines Agency. It's basically like the FDA. In the EU clinical trial registry for phase 3 OSA trial extension, with the CTA package for Europe finalized and ready for submission as Q1 2024. This indicates a coordinated global regulatory strategy. Okay, so FDA designations and guidance to date. Inconex has not announced any special designations, fast track or breakthrough therapy. That's what I was trying to look for earlier, breakthrough therapy, guys. So one of these catalysts, Jeffrey, is going to be fast track or breakthrough therapy granted for any one of our programs. Such filings may be forthcoming. OSA has no approved drugs, which strongly qualifies IXHL42X for FDA fast track designation to expedite development. In fact, Inconex has signaled plans to align with FDA on phase 3 and discuss fast track given the unmet need in OSA. We await confirmation if fast track is granted for PSX001, given the compelling efficacy in the GAD and the general anxiety drug, and the FDA's receptiveness to psychedelic therapies. Breakthrough therapy designation could be pursued to speed development through, no public announcement yet. So catalyst, FDA and fast tracking for both IXHL42X and the psilocybin drug, right? Inconex management has emphasized working closely with the FDA to ensure trials will support eventual approval requirements. The pre-IND meeting for IXHL675A in 2023 is an example. The FDA provided multidisciplinary guidance on trial design and confirmed that a 505(b)(2) NDA approach is viable. This will enable Inconex to leverage its existing safety data on HCQ and CBD, potentially reducing the size and scope of required trials. No formal regulatory approvals or rejections have occurred yet, and the FDA and no FDA holds are known. Each program will ultimately require successful completion of phase 3 trials and NDA submissions for approval. Inconex's global orientation also means it will engage in TGA, Australia, and EMA in parallel. Notably, the company's phase 3 OSA trial will collect data to satisfy the FDA, EMA, and potentially TGA. Needs simultaneously streamlining eventual filings in multiple jurisdictions. So that's what they're doing right now. So the regulatory milestone timeline is as follows. In summary, the key recent regulatory milestones include IND clearances for IXHL42X in 2023, PSX in 2024, and FDA meetings for IXHL675A in 2023. Upcoming regulatory events to watch are potential fast-track breakthrough designations for IXHL42X and PSX001. Hopefully that answered your question, Jeffrey. That's one catalyst for 2 drugs. So that makes 2 that you can write down on your pen and paper if you think might happen and by the end of the year. So, right. They have so many catalysts right now. And like a lot of other companies, when they have catalysts, like catalyst after catalyst after catalyst, they just announce every morning there's a new catalyst, there's a new announcement, there's a new Yahoo News article. They're not doing that. They're holding all of this back for some reason. And the end of phase 2 meetings with FDA. Okay, so I'm going to skip all of this stuff because it's so dense. And like I said, anybody who wants my notes, it's like really good, really detailed stuff on every single drug, everything about it. But I want to skip to the catalysts, and I have charts. I have charts on each drug, everything. And it's all in one email. I'll send it to you. PrayTradeRepeat@gmail.com. Okay, synthesis and investment outlook. Not that. Key takeaways: regulatory and execution risk, intellectual property. Okay. So based on the above, we recommend investors and analysts to monitor a few critical next steps: phase 3 trial progress, track enrollment updates, and any interim analysis for Reposa phase 3 OSA trial. Obviously, that's what we're all waiting for. An interim efficacy look, if done, could de-risk the trial early. Otherwise, final data, possibly in late 2026, will be the big catalyst. Given OSA's blockbuster potential, successful phase 3 results could be game-changing for Inconex. We all know all this. Sorry about that. Similar, watch for the start of PSX001's phase 2B trial. Okay, so we're going to watch for that. That's number 3. Phase 2B trial for PSX001 and any early signs of replication of phase 2's efficacy. Okay, because we already got the efficacy, right? Phase 2. The initiation of dosing in SIGAD2 expected in upcoming quarters will mark Inconex's entry into a late-stage development for that program. Regulatory designations and partnerships. Keep an eye on the FDA announcements regarding fast track or breakthrough status for IXHL42X and PSX001. Either designation would validate the programs and potentially accelerate timelines. Accelerate the timelines. Moreover, any partnership or licensing deal could significantly accelerate development and reduce funding overhang. Inconex has hinted at seeking partners, especially for PSX001. An alliance with a larger pharma or biotech in 2025-26, which is right now, it's December, could bring in non-dilutive capital and expertise. Investors should also review Inconex quarterly SEC filings for updates on cash runway and plan for phase 3 finances. We know we have $73 million. We have 346 million shares. It's a perfect setup. It's a perfect storm for any kind of partnership anyway, a strategic capital raise or grant funding, especially for the psychedelic program or via Australian government incentives, could be in the cards. In conclusion, Inconex is entering so when it says a strategic capital raise or grant funding could be in the cards, right? They're not going to raise money at 30 cents. They know a big move is coming. All right. In conclusion, Inconex is entering a pivotal period where clinical execution and regulatory navigation will determine its success. The company's multi-program pipeline offers multiple value creation events. So far, management has delivered on trial results and IP protection. That's the thing. That's where I'm like so confident and convicted, and making shirts and only married to the stock, as people call it. Because they have delivered on trial results. They have delivered on IP protection to 2040, 2045, like 20 years of exclusivity on these assets, which bodes well. If upcoming milestones are positive, Inconex could evolve from a research and development stage company into a first mover in new therapeutic domains. I'm gonna read that again. If upcoming milestones are positive, which they will be, Inconex could evolve from a research and development stage company into a first mover in a new therapeutic domains. So that's for all you people are saying, why don't some company try to buy them for $10 a share? Why would you sell for $10 a share? You're going to be a first mover in new therapeutic domains with IP protection to 2045, right? Investors should be prepared for increased new. There you go, guys. Investors should be prepared for increased news flow and some volatility around trial outcomes. So there's your answer, Jeff. But the long-term outlook remains optimistic given the strong foundation of scientific results and the patent-backed market exclusivity. Guys, I'm going to stop reading all this, but I have this report that I have is so amazing. It has links and it supports everything. So please, like I said, feel free to email me and I'll just copy and paste it to you. I'm not going to sit here and read the whole thing. But it's super detailed and it gives you all of the everything you need to know about each specific drug, exactly where they're at with it, and why we're so lucky to be invested in this company. Let me go back to the stream, see where the stock's at. Can you go live when this runs? I want to see your reaction. Absolutely. Oh, for sure. For sure. I've already gone live. If you want to look at my past lives, look at July 24th or July 25th, I think I made some lives on that day, and those were very interesting. Let's just say, because it was the most money I ever made in one day, and it wasn't like I was like hold everybody hold, and then I was like, and then they dumped millions of shares, and then that's why you can't give financial advice. Because a lot of people did hold, and it wasn't because I said to hold it. Everybody makes their own decisions. But then we saw the stock go all the way up to $1.76 that day in July on phase 2 results. And then the company dumped millions of shares. And the next day, the stock starts plummeting. So, of course, I sold all my shares at $1.15 and made the most money I've ever made in a trade ever. And then I put it all back in on August 26th when they came out with a PSX-001. The general anxiety drug. I had a lot of trolls for a while. They're like, you took down one of your videos. You did this. Like, bro, get a job. You know what I mean? This is never financial advice. I try to give you guys some good stuff to do, some technical stuff to do, but shit, I don't know what I'm doing. Oops, I cursed on YouTube and TikTok. Very bad. I barely know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Whenever, like, I don't know about you guys, but with day trading, swing trading, even long investing, like when something good happens, it's like, it's great. But like, trying to take money out of the stock market, it's not like you got these people like, join my Discord, I'm going to show you how, or the ones, I love the guys on Stock Twitch, everywhere. They're like, oh, these are my bangers. And, or the ones that they make videos after the stock runs and they're like, I called it. Look, we don't know what's going to happen. You do the best you can. You do some research. What I learned swing trading and day trading is, what I learned day trading, and this is where I learned the most, was it's real easy to jump in stocks where you set yourself up with a volatility and indicator or a what are those called? Whatever. Or go on to pre-market movers and see what has 100 million more volume, and it's trading at 26 cents a share, and it just made a 10-cent move, and you're like, well, I'm gonna buy like 50,000 shares of this and scalp it, and then you learn the hardest lessons because then 6 a.m. comes. And some article hits and it says it's delisted, and you just watch all your money disappear. So look, what I've learned from all of that is that you have to be invested in good companies. If you're going to swing trade, you're going to day trade, don't jump into these high volatility movers until you've looked at the latest filings. Looked at least 2 quarters worth of filings. You understand the mechanics of any warrants or overhang. You like, don't get into some toxic financed company and think you're going to scalp it or day trade it. You might make, unless you're like really good, like, and by really good, I mean, like, there are people out here that they go in there and they'll go in a crazy stock like that with total toxic financing, won't even read the filings, and they'll put 20,000-30,000 shares, and it makes a 2-cent move and they pull out $200. You know what I mean? If you're one of those guys, go ahead, do your thing. You got hard stops and stuff like that. Like I think of myself as a more gangster trader. I like to I'm in for a big move. I like to pile in, make a big move, and then get out. But what I've learned from all of that is, like, And what I've learned by being married to IXHL and to this stock specifically is that, man, you want to be in good setups with good companies that are doing big things, that are life-changing things, and that have that buyback warrants. You want to, like, this company bought back the warrants. It's like, am I married to the stock? Yeah, I'm married to the stock. This thing's gonna run. It's gonna go to dollars range. I'll drive for Grubhub. I'll wait tables. I'll go back to work working in a treatment center as a counselor. You know what I mean? I'll do whatever it takes to keep my money in this stock. You know what I mean? What I am going to do, though, to be, full disclosure, is I'm going to sell a position of my shares on the big move up to take back my cost. That's the smartest thing that I ever learned how to do. And you know where I learned it? ChatGPT. ChatGPT told me to do it on July 24th. They said, take back your cost. The first thing I did was sell 50,000 shares at 40 cents, took back my entire cost. And look at me now. I'm making videos. The stock's down. It's being hammered down, into the 30s. There was massive dilution events. They raised all this cash. I'm in the best setup ever. And guess what? It's house money, So if I could tell anybody anything, which I don't give financial advice, I would tell you the first thing you do is take back your money. All right. And you do that by setting these good to cancel tiered limit sell orders, because one of these days we're going to wake up and, you're going to miss the news. You're going to miss the AK. You're going to miss it. You're going to wake up like this. And you're going to see that that it is run and you didn't set your orders to take profit, and they're gonna take that $27 million they have left in the capacity of the $100 million at the market, and they're gonna take that money off the table, and the stock's gonna go down a little bit. And don't be one of these guys when this happens that doesn't have their profit taking set, and then when they dump and they complete the capacity, and it makes a big move up, and it goes, and call me on this. I want you guys to hear me on this and stamp it. I want you to stamp. I say stamp it. Stamp it means like. Remember that I'm saying this. Big move, boom, over $1, $1.40, $1.50, $1.60, right? It's coming. This is what's going to happen. And then everyone's like, yeah, bro, oh my God, bro, oh no, oh my God, that's amazing, oh my God, yeah. And then you go get yourself a cup of coffee, and you sit back down, and it's like, how is it at 80 cents again? Because they have a capacity of $27 million worth of shares. They're going to take 27. They're going to put those shares. They're going to put that in. They're going to take that money off the table, bro. They need that cash. They're going to take that cash for phase 3, right? Whether they need it or not, they're going to buy themselves a new friggin', Bentley GT, because they deserve it. So when that happens, make sure you have your profit taking percentages set. You're good to cancel the tiered limit sell order set. You're going to leave. Of course, you're going to leave enough to ride, but take profit. Set those orders now, because it will go back down again for a minute and maybe a day or so, and then it's going to run the dollars. We're going to see $1.30, $1.40. They're going to dump the rest of that $27 million of shares. There's going to be a lot of panic selling on that. So it's going to go boom. Everyone's going to be like, ah. Then they're going to dump the $27 million worth of shares, and that stock's going to go like this for a session or two, and everyone's going to panic sell, and that's when they're going to shake you all out, and you're all going to get shaken out because you didn't take profit, first of all, right? You didn't get your cost back on the initial bump, and now it's going down, and you're going to say to yourself, oh my God, I got to get out. I got to get out. I'm not going to go through this again. I'm not going to go through it. I'm not going to do it. And you sell. And what did they do? They just shook you out. You've been in this stock for months and months and months, and you got shaken out. Hold on, TikTok. And you just got shaken out. So set yourself up. Call your broker. Get your profit back. Take your money back at minimum. Take your costs back. Right? And you're going to do that on that initial pop or two before they complete that $100 million at the market capacity. So it's going to go like this. This is a little bit of something what it's most likely going to look like. Big boom that day. Shorts covering, algorithms flipping, market makers flipping bullish, right? Massive move. And Everybody's happy. Dump the rest of the 27 million shares left in the $100 million at the market capacity. Maybe for one session, it starts going down. Everyone's confused. All the retail people that are new to trading sell. They sell for a loss or no profit at all, and they sell there, and you get shaken out on that day. Guess what happens the next morning? Guess what happens the next morning? 4:30 in the morning, there's a headline that says $100 million at the market complete. No new dilution without shareholder approval. And the stock starts to run again. But guess what? You missed it because you didn't take profit at 140, right? Because you didn't. And I'm not saying take all profit. I'm take your cost back. Anyway, that's it for me today. I'll take a couple more questions or whatever. And yeah, if anybody wants all those notes, I have it at PrayTradeRepeat.com. Yeah, this has been over an hour. Geez, I hope everybody enjoyed it. Thank you so much for everybody that's engaging. Like I said, if you can support me, go to PrayTradeRepeat.com, see if you find a shirt or a hat you like or a hoodie. Bought my shirt. Thank you so much, Jake. That's so cool. Thanks. Oh, sweet. Thank you so much. That's really cool. Thank you very much. Thank you so much, guys. I bought lights with them. I buy lights and stuff with the money. If I make any money, I have it all. I'm not making any money, obviously. I've been making videos since May on YouTube. And you know how much money that YouTube has for me? $42. I'm not even getting $1 a video. So yeah, like, subscribe, and follow. Like, subscribe, follow. Like, subscribe, follow. That helps me a lot. Thank you so much. Let me just go through these questions and comments real quick. Let's see. Jeffrey says, I remember the moment Brian bought the last 20,000 shares. You were very excited. Yes. Yeah. 150-day moving average crossed the 50-day MA and it's pointing upwards. Real investors will get in when it passes 40. Great comment. Very well known. Very good comment. Yes. And that's what we're looking at. And look what's happening right now. Oh, that was a nice move. Look what happened on the chart while I was talking all that shit. So we broke and closed. No, we still have not broken and closed the candle above that black line, right? And we're trying to push through it. And we're so used to seeing it get slammed down again. But the good news is it looks like it's pretty stable. That other big crank. So it looks like buyers are like really supporting this. Buyers are starting to move in to support it. And like I said, I think just quickly, and I'll shut up, is that I think that what's happening with the price is that it's almost like algos and market makers, everyone's ready to flip bullish and run with it, but they're trying to force a move. It seems like, when they slam it down under that blue day trend line, everyone knows this thing is going to explode. Just quickly run through these comments. I want to acknowledge everyone. Hey, everyone. Thanks again for buying the shirt. That's really cool, man. Yeah, let me know if you buy a shirt, you don't like it or anything, just, let me know. Send me an email, PrayTradeRepeat@gmail.com. I'll send you another one, no charge. Anyway, that's it for me for today. Thank you so much for everyone for joining. Hopefully, you guys will like, follow, and then share these discussions that we have with other people that might be interested in listening. Thanks a lot, everyone. Have a great day. Thank you so much. Remember, get to the gym, do some exercise, and watch some movies, have some fun. We're in good shape. Thanks, guys.